Oh, welcome back to the channel. How are you doing today? And it's been a while since we did a game review, and yeah, a new tactical shooter has become available for Xbox, so I thought we'd hop right in and have a wee look-see at Arma Reforger. I hope you're going to enjoy this one. Let's do it! So the Arma series is a first-person tactical military shooter developed by a Czech studio called Bohemia Interactive, and it's been on Windows computers, Microsoft Windows PC, for quite a long time. In fact, it was first released in 2006, and yeah, there are a number of different iterations of Arma, starting with Armored Assault and going right through to the most recent, which was Arma 3. As poor guys on console haven't had access to this game, and it's something that I've been watching very closely, probably in the last year or so, when I've been looking for tactical shooters to bring to the channel. And finally, for whatever reason, the developers suddenly sprung in May a version of Arma Reforger for Xbox Series X and S called Arma Reforger, and yeah, I downloaded it and had a wee look-see, and I'm going to go through it in quite a lot of detail for you today, and yeah, you can see what it's all about. So there's a couple of things that I want to say straight at the gate. First of all, I have never played Arma before. I have played games on PC, but this is not one of them, so this is my first experience. Don't forget, as I said in the intro, that this is a PC game, so sometimes with PC games, when they are ported across to a console situation, they don't always translate real well. And the third thing I'd like to say is that any opinions that I give in this video are my own opinions based on the gaming experience that I've had with the game, and you're going to see that it is a little bit of a mixed bag as far as how I've experienced this game. To start with, this is a pre-build version of the game, and I believe I've read and heard rumours that it will come to PlayStation at some point. At this point, like I said, it's on the next gen console, the Series X and S. I'm not sure. I've read various things that it will be coming to Xbox One and PlayStation 4 as well as PS5. I don't know if that is correct or not, but that is certainly what I have read, so you will get access to it. The other thing I'd like to say is this ain't a Call of Duty game or anything like a Call of Duty. Even Insurgency Sandstorm, as you know, we play a lot of that on the channel and do a lot of tips and tricks videos. It's quite different. It takes quite a different approach for this game if you want to play it for the first time. It's much slower, it's much more strategic, and yeah, it will take you a little bit of time just to get your head around how it works. But the gunplay, gun skills will translate. If you're used to playing shooters, then your gun skill will absolutely translate. Like I said, it's just a little bit of a slower game. Now, what I want to point out first of all is that this version of the game is in early access, and when you first put the game up, it tells you that straight out the gate, which I very much applaud the developers for that. And it says, you can see there, please note this game is in a pre-release stage of development. Some of the features and content are heavily work in progress, might not work correctly, and might crash. The pre-release software doesn't represent the quality of the final product. So I must admit, the fact that they have this message at the start of the game, I have no problem with. I actually think that is a good thing, and certainly what they describe actually happened to me a lot. I did get a lot of issues when I first started and playing around this game. Now, That's fine, all good and all well and good, but the issue I have with this is the fact that they are actually charging for this game. As you can see here, the award-winning Arma franchise arrives on Xbox. Experience an authentic Cold War combat, join friends in the struggle, spawn for a sprawling 51-kilometer mid-Atlantic island, or take on the role as game master and create your own scenarios. However, you can, as I did, download the trial, but you can buy this Arma Reforger game, and that's Australian dollars, nearly $45. And I got to tell you, that is extremely disappointing that they would give the first message saying, you're going to have problems with this, it's a pre-build, but we will charge you $45 for it if you want to get the game. Now, I'm not sure what the difference is between the preview and the trial and the full game that you pay for, but I would think the same thing applies. And so, yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that. I like the fact that they're being transparent, but I'm not paying full price for a game that's buggy as hell straight out the gate. Okay, let's start off with the interface. And as you can see, the interface is I really like it. It's really nice and clean, very clear what it's all about. And yeah, you can move around it pretty quickly. So let's go through it one at a time. So the play is obviously... there are a number of things that you can play. The tutorial, we'll get into it in a minute, but the tutorial is here. Game Master, join a multiplayer combat scenario on a mid-Atlantic island of Everon, or create a real-time experience as dedicated Game Master. So basically you can build your own maps in this, and I'll show you some footage of this in a minute. I couldn't figure out how to get it to work, but anyway, you can build your own map if you like. And then conflict, which is their main gameplay experience. Secure the island by capturing strategic military sites, extending your radio communications, and staging a final offensive against the enemy's main operating base. And that's the kind of main game that you will play if you get this game. Then you have Workshop. Now, this is really neat for console, at least on PC. If you're a PC gamer, you're probably going, oh yeah, we've had that forever. But Workshop is basically mods, and you have a whole lot of different mods that you can use. And there are just pages and pages. You can see, if you look down the bottom here, is 1 of 60. And yeah, there's all manner of things here. There's game modes, there's all manner of things. Blood effects, weapons, you name it. They're modified to the wazoo, if you like. Now, I did download Capture and Hold, and that's pretty much the main game experience that I played. And Game and Hold is actually a game mode that's been developed by the developers Bohemian Interactive. Join teams and players and fight in Everon and Capture and Hold, an official multiplayer game mode. So it's a bit like Capture the Flag and Domination, basically. Scenarios, it just walks you through all who's on, who's playing what, how many players there are, so you can see that. Multiplayer, again, this is where I go a lot of the time, and it shows you the servers, how many servers are active, how many people are playing per server, what the ping is, all that good stuff. So you can choose your server if you like from there. Game Master, as we said, that you can build your own maps. Obviously settings is pretty self-explanatory, and field manual, you can come in here and just go through all kinds of things to do with the introduction, the Game Master, how conflict works, various things about the gameplay and items and all kinds of stuff. You know, you can just click into that and it will show you how things work, etc. So that's pretty neat. Tells you what you have to do to get things to work. So there you go. So quite a nice little interface. It's I did enjoy the fact that it's nice and clean. and you can follow it pretty easily. So I'm not sure if you're like me, but the tutorial is, I'm going to tell you up front, the tutorial is quite large. A lot of the tutorial is pretty basic, and if you're like me, I like just to get in and play games. Just like to get in, feel what I'm doing, and play around with games and see how they work and all that kind of good stuff. I got to say, with this game, I would highly recommend that you go in and do the tutorial, because there was a number of times when I was in the game, I felt like I was in Narnia. I had no idea what was going on, what to press to make certain things, really basic things like how do I heal up using a bandage and that kind of stuff. So I highly recommend that you do the tutorial. I have seen somebody else do the tutorial in 45 to 50 minutes they were still doing the tutorial. So you can see it is quite comprehensive, but there is a lot to learn, and that is another thing I will say with this game. If you're playing it for the first time on console, there is a very, very steep learning curve. So please go in and do this. Learn as much as you can, because it will save you time at the back end when you're in the game and you're playing. I like the fact that you can put your character into first person or third person, and there's a whole lot of things that I didn't know about the game and still don't know. Yeah, use this along with the field manual and you should be set, and you're probably going to be a little bit further forward than I was actually just diving in and trying to figure things out. Okay, so moving on, we touched briefly on the mods earlier, but it's very, very easy. Go along. You can click into these once you find something that you want to grab. You can see there's pages and pages and pages of this stuff. But once you find something that you actually want, and you can see the developers have actually developed a lot of stuff. But click in, it'll give you a description. Basically, just click on the download, it'll download, install, and you're off and running. And that's all I had to do with capture and hold, as you're seeing here. And yeah, I think that's a nice addition to the game. Not sure what that does to your achievements, whether that negates your achievements or not, but I really like that a lot. So next I wanted to walk you through what happens when you actually choose something and you choose a server. Now, I had a lot of issues with servers not being joinable, dropping out, crashing. On the second week that I played this game, it actually had solved that to a degree. It was much better, so they are improving it. So you'll click into this and it's capture and hold the briars. There are different maps for capture and hold, by the way, so you can play around. There's a whole lot of different maps that you can play with. You'll come to this screen here and it'll ask you to choose a faction. And it tells you how many players are in each faction, so you can click into that and have a look. You make a decision on that. Depending on what game mode you're playing, then it will ask you to choose a loadout, as you can see here. And then it asks you to choose a deployment point. Now, that wasn't really working for me very well. It wasn't very, very clear where I was deploying on the map. So that didn't really work, and then it drops you straight into the game. Here we go. And I can tell you, this game looks absolutely stunning, but as you might be able to tell as I'm talking, when the first week that I played this, I could not get the audio to record for whatever reason. It just would not record game audio. That's been fixed now. But with this footage that we have here, yeah, the game audio would not record. And I got to tell you, this game, it's important that you have a mic, because there is so many people communicating in this game. It's not funny. And I do like that about the game. It looks absolutely stunning, but as you can see, as we're running through the forest here, there are some rendering issues. I'm seeing it's struggling to render here, and this is an Xbox Series X, by the way, that we're playing this on. So yeah, it has a very kind of Escape from Tarkov kind of feel about it, and I do like it. The movement in the game is very smooth. I have no issues with that whatsoever, and it does look very nice. But yeah, again, they are telling us that this is a pre-build, so I'm sure a lot of these things is what they want our feedback on, and so this game review is also a kind of feedback session for the devs if they want to watch it. As you would have seen in my introduction, there are vehicles in this game, yay! And if you've watched the channel for a while, you know that driving and G4 don't go hand in hand. In fact, they can be quite funny and entertaining at times, but yeah, the driving in this game's fine. There is no issues. The mechanics of the vehicles are good. It's just my driving, or my ability to drive vehicles that is the problem. But yeah, you can drive it off road if you like. I'd suggest you don't, but you can if you like. You can smash through fences like this. And yeah, the driving is very, very good. And given that this is a big map, if you can find a vehicle, I would suggest that you go and drive a vehicle somewhere to get from point A to point B, because yeah, you are going to spend a lot of time trying to move from different points to points on the map, so it makes sense that you learn how to do this early. And again, go and do the tutorial. It'll tell you all you need to know about that. As far as the guns and the gunplay goes, as we showed you earlier, there's a whole lot of mods that you can download, and there's a number of mods that I did download to play around with. I couldn't figure out where to find those, and yeah, if you guys have played this a little bit longer than I have and you know how to do that, please let me know down in the comments. But I couldn't figure out how to get those modded guns. I got a little bit frustrated with the fact that, at least the game modes I was playing, you were given a set loadout, and you were stuck with that. It didn't seem as though you could modify your guns or your loadouts in any way, and maybe I had to play a little bit longer to get that to work. I don't know, but yeah, I was either stuck with the AK or the M16 with no sight on it, and my poor old eyes. You can see by the way that the game is, it's got quite a wide field of view, and you can change the field of the view, by the way. But the kind of being able to spot enemies and disseminate them from the background was difficult in this game. So yeah, I really need to dig in a little bit deeper and have a look at the modded weapons with sights, because I think that would help me. And I know a lot of people were sniping in this game, and I couldn't quite figure out where to find a sniper and what I'm supposed to do with that. Although in Conflict, I know from the major base in Conflict that I was able to find a sniper, but to get it to work, some of the gun mechanics I found were very, very finicky. And I actually had a scenario, which I'm probably showing you now, where I was aiming gun at an enemy, and it just whether it was firing or not, there was no kind of, I don't know what was going on, whether the gun jammed, whether it wasn't firing, whether it had a silencer on. It was very, very confusing. And again, the hit detection and sounds with the hit detection, and it just didn't seem to be, you couldn't tell whether it was working properly or not, which is a bit disappointing. But again, keep in mind that this is a pre-build. There are a lot of bugs, but I would have expected that the gun mechanics for a shooter game would already been fairly well 95 or 99% sorted. I had a lot of issues with kind of detecting shots, shots hitting, how many shots I had to hit an enemy with before they went down, all that kind of stuff, even though I hit some players in the head clearly. And yeah, again, I'm quite open to the fact that some of this is me learning the game, and I that's fine. But again, there should be some kind of middle ground here, so some work to be done there. So what's my feelings on this game? I think it has a huge amount of potential, and I can see why so many people love it on PC. I've got to say, if I'd done this review after the first week of trialing it, I would have given it a lot of negative reviews. I gave the game some time week one I had a lot of server issues. I was getting into games where I would only play for a couple of minutes and the game would finish. I'd try get into games that had slots and it wouldn't let me in. And there was a whole lot of different server issues. That's one thing that I think that could be improved, is that it needs a lobby system, because you just get thrown into games and you know, basically the other day I got into a game and I ran about 5 steps and the game finished. So that's something that I would suggest probably needs to be looked at. I had a lot of server issues dropping out, or I'd get into a game and there'd be nobody in the world. There'd be this huge world and there'd be like 3 of us in the game. So it was there, I couldn't get in. If I got in, the game finished early, or there was nobody actually in my game. So there's a lot of work to be done on that side of the things. A lot of the basic things aren't obvious how they work. Things like applying bandages. Again, I concede that part of that is down to me personally not knowing the game, but I would have thought that some of that stuff could be a lot more simple for a console player to figure out. Probably if you're playing on PC, you've got this all keystroked, or you know, whatever, it's assigned to a button or some kind, and you just automatically do it. On console, yeah, there's a little bit of work to be done there to make things a little bit simpler, at least for the basics. And I certainly would recommend you have a look at this game. There is, if you're on Xbox Series X at the moment, there is a demo that you can download, and you get 6 hours gameplay, so you can run around and play around with it. Would I pay 45 Australian dollars for it at this point in time and the state of the game? No, I wouldn't. I think it needs probably another 6 to 12 months of development before I'm really going to embrace this, but I will be keeping a very close eye on this game, because I think it has, as I said earlier, huge amounts of potential, and it is right up my alley and the kind of game that I want to bring to you on the channel. Okay guys, that is it for this game review. Hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it's something a little bit different. Like I said, it's been a while since we've done one of these, and if you have played this game, whether it be on console or PC, let me know how you feel about it. If there's some things that I misunderstood, I would love to hear from you so that I get a better understanding. And any comments that you want to leave would be much appreciated. That would help. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, rating. It does help the channel. And if you want to see more content on tactical shooters or tips and tricks for various games, consider hitting that subscribe button and hitting the bell notification so you don't miss a minute. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time. See ya.